I almost died from meditating. Now, let me tell you the story because there's some lessons here about what to do, what not to do, as well as things that are relevant to your journey as a creator and entrepreneur in the world. So, breathwork has been my jam for nearly 2 decades. Every sunrise, I roll out of bed, I stretch my limbs, and then venture outdoors for a 10 to 15-minute breathwork practice to kickstart my day. So picture this: a long time ago, before my wife, my kid, my daily golf grind, and juggling multiple businesses, I'd indulge in 1 to 2 hours of breathwork daily. It was my love affair at that time in my life. So here's the scoop. On the day I almost met my maker while meditating, I was accompanied by my late dog, Sasha. We were strolling along the ocean, and I stumbled upon the perfect sit spot with not a soul in sight. So I seated myself on a hefty log. I delved into my breath practice. And normally, my breath practice would involve about 10 minutes of what I called cowbunga breathing. This was my pre Wim Hof era creation. The breath goes like this. So imagine I'm doing 10 minutes of that breath. And then I would do what are called breath locks, where I would hold my exhale for as long as humanly possible and then hold my inhale for as long as humanly possible. For the uninitiated, it's a mind-blowing experience. You tap into the life force that's swirling around us, and you enter into a realm where there's no worries, no pain, no fear, no sadness. Everything just dissolves into nothingness, and you become a point of light where only love exists. It's absolutely magical. And I've been doing this for years at the time. But doing this 5 feet off the ground on a log can be very risky business. I don't recommend it. And in nearly 2 decades of doing this type of breath work, I've only blacked out twice from this particular style. And this was round one. I lost touch with my physical roots and momentarily lost consciousness and found myself upside down on a pile of rocks with Sasha licking blood off my face. Lucky for me, I walked away with only a big face bruise and a few cuts, no concussion, and I dodged a serious bullet. Now, you might ask, did you ditch meditation or this extreme breath practice that you were doing? Hell no, I just wore a helmet while meditating. Or I would practice on flat ground. Now, here's the kicker. I'm not just spinning this yarn to inspire you to embrace a daily breathwork practice, although it will change your life. And I'm not suggesting you breathe until passing out. The lesson is this: failing or getting hurt doesn't signal surrender. Doesn't mean you should quit. Remember that time nobody signed up for your program? That doesn't mean you should throw in the towel and grab a real job. It means your marketing game needs improvement. Or that time you created subpar content? Should you ditch your artistic pursuits? Hell no. Practice more. Learn from the masters. Channel your life into becoming the purest expression of an artist you can become. Or if you had a rough financial year as an entrepreneur, it's not a cue to abandon ship, but a nudge to learn, grow, and revamp your game. Our failures are the best teachers. Remember that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Cliche, but true. So as I spilled in my grit, growth, and gut-wrenching moments piece that I wrote yesterday, these challenges mold us. Just because I took a tumble meditating doesn't mean I threw in the spiritual towel. I meditate daily because it makes me a better, grounded, clear, and happier human. I've witnessed too many talented souls quit before tasting success. Adopt the mindset that you're on a lifelong journey. Your current mountain is just a pit stop. There's a whole range of mountains to explore. So pace yourself and relish the adventure. Don't let stumbles, setbacks, or failures shackle your progress. If you're down and out, just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, keep breathing, and keep going. Now, wrapping up this tale, you might wonder, what about the second time I kissed unconsciousness during a delicious breath practice? This one's a funny one, so I'm happy to share it for entertainment purposes. I found myself in the Arizona desert at a retreat, and I was guiding a breath session for a couple of newfound brothers. We're sitting on a pond, and after our third round of breath holds, Nirvana took the wheel. I left my body, slipped off my meditation stool, and somersaulted down a 5-foot embankment into the water. My unexpected splash brought us all back to reality. The looks on their faces when I emerged from the pond drenched in just soaked in water was absolutely priceless. We shared this awkward, silent moment, exchanging looks before erupting into hysterical laugh till tears streamed down our cheeks laughter. It was one of the funniest moments ever. So the second lesson here is water is definitely softer than landing on top of rocks. So you've read or listened this far. Aside from meditating on flat ground, what are your takeaways? Are there any things that you've abandoned due to a sour experience? Because resilience is built in picking yourself up and forging ahead. Are you ready to dust off and try again? I encourage you to. You know, in my almost 20 years of entrepreneurship, the number of times that my expectations did not meet my reality are uncountable. And it doesn't matter because I've accepted that this is a lifelong journey I'm on. I'm not quitting being an entrepreneur because I have a bad experience. I'm not quitting being an artist because one of my pieces of content were garbage. I just keep going. I keep learning. I keep improving. What about you? I hope you're doing the same thing too, because the world needs you in your creative superpowers. And if you want to get your breath on, go download my world-class audio meditation library. It's been loved by millions of meditators, and I bet you'll find at least a few practices that you want to come back to every single day. Just make sure you practice on the ground.